All right, guys, you're going to take your quiz after this. So as long as you can do this stuff with me, you can do what is on your quiz. So I'm going to walk you through it. Fill it in as you go. If I'm moving too fast, just pause the video while you write your next part and then unpause it again. These first ones, it says determine whether the graphs are parallel, perpendicular, or neither, and then explain why. So the way we tell parallel, perpendicular, or neither is based on slope. So if you look at that first equation, your slope is 3. Remember, it's not 3x, it's just 3. But then this second equation, you need to solve for y to get it in the right form. So we would have to add 3x to both sides. So what we get, this goes away, y equals 3x minus 21. So that would be the right equation now. And if you look, they both have a slope of 3. So those would be parallel because they have the same slope. Okay, parallel lines always have the same slope. Looking at the second one, notice this is x equals some number and this is y equals some number. This, if you recall, is a vertical line, and this is a horizontal line. So those are actually perpendicular. And the reason being, one is horizontal and one is vertical, right? So those are perpendicular. And then last one here, you have a slope here of -2. Notice y has been isolated. Y is isolated here, and you have a slope of 1/2. So 1/2 compared to -2, those are opposite reciprocals. So those are going to be perpendicular as well, because perpendicular lines always have slopes that are opposite reciprocals. Sorry, my pen is not working great right now. Okay, so that's those first three. Then it says write an equation in slope-intercept form of the line that passes through the given point and is parallel to the graph of the given equation. So what that means is if I'm looking at number 4 here, my slope needs to be 2, right? If it's going to be parallel, it has to have the same slope. So this is going to be my x, this is going to be my y, this is my m, and I'm going to plug that into slope-intercept form. That's what they asked for. So y equals m times x plus b. 2 times 2 is 4. And then we're going to take that 4 away because it's positive right now. I'm going to subtract it. And that means I have a b that is 1. So to put it into slope-intercept form, I have a slope, I have a y-intercept, I just need to plug it into the formula. Y equals 2x plus 1 would be my answer. Okay, if we try that again with this one, if I want to be parallel to this equation, I need this slope. So this is going to be my m, this is my x, this is my y. So y equals m times x plus b. Okay, and we want to figure out what b is. So if I do 3/5 times 5, the 5's cancel and I'm just left with 3. So I get -3 equals 3 plus b. And then I need to take that 3 away. -3 minus 3 is -6. So my b, my y-intercept, is -6. And now I can plug it into the formula using my slope. Y equals 3/5 times x minus 6. And that is your slope-intercept form. Okay, now these ones, they want you to be perpendicular to the graph of the given equation. So right now, my slope is -4. Okay, but I want to go perpendicular. So my perpendicular slope is going to be the opposite reciprocal of that. So right now it's -4, so I want to make it positive. This is like 4 over 1. I want to make it 1 over 4. So this is the slope we're going to use. And then here's my x and my y up top. So it's going to be y equals, -1 equals 1/4 times 4 plus b. Okay, 1/4 times 4, your 4's cancel and you just get 1. So -1 equals 1 plus b. If you take away 1, you get -2 is your b value. And then you can plug that in with your slope and your y-intercept. So y equals 1/4 x minus 2. Okay. Now, number 7 is a little tougher because you can't just see the slope right now because of this form. This is standard form, right? We need to take it out of standard form, put it into slope-intercept form. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to subtract 3x from both sides. So this is 0. I get 6y equals -3x plus 6, and then I need to divide by 6 everywhere. So I get y equals, that would be -1/2 times x. 6 divided by 6 is 1. So here's my equation. I want to be perpendicular to that. So perpendicular to that, if I have a -1/2, my opposite reciprocal, my perpendicular slope, is going to be a +2. So here's my slope, here's my x and my y up top, the 2 and the 5, and I'm going to say y equals m times x plus b. So 5 equals 4 plus b, and we're going to take away the 4. So 1 is my b value, so it's going to be y equals my perpendicular slope, 2 times x plus 1. Okay. All right. 8, 9, 10. This is true or false. So it says determine whether each statement is true or false. Circle one of those. So 2 lines with opposite reciprocal slopes are parallel. Think about, is that true or is that false? So opposite reciprocal, that is actually perpendicular, so this would be false. Okay. This one says 2 lines that intersect at a 90-degree angle are perpendicular, and that's what it means to be perpendicular, right? If they meet at a 90-degree angle, they are perpendicular, so that would be true. This one says 2 lines whose slopes are opposites are perpendicular. That is false also. They have to be opposite reciprocals, and then they will be perpendicular. Okay. And then number 11, the equations of 2 lines where the graphs are parallel to this line. So think about what that means. In order for it to be parallel, it has to have the same slope, but a different y-intercept, because if you had the same slope and the same y-intercept, it's actually the same line, which doesn't work. So this would have to be something like y equals 5x minus 2, or y equals 5x plus 7, okay? The 5 has to be the same, but the y-intercept should be different. Okay, number 12. Perpendicular to -4/5, you need the opposite reciprocal. So that means my perpendicular slope is going to be positive and 5 over 4. So we could say something like y equals 5/4 x plus 6. Or we could say y equals 5/4 x minus 11. You've got lots of options, but that would be 2 of them. Okay. That is it for that worksheet. If you can do that, you can do the quiz. Okay, so maybe go back and look over anything you weren't quite sure on, and then you're going to take the quiz.